Hello YouTube, I am back here again doing some network testing. Tonight I will be doing Verizon Wireless, and I'm going to be driving through some of the more populated areas. Right now is club time. It's like 12:08 at night on a Saturday. So I'm going to go driving through majority of the more congested areas. Probably do the same type of run for both AT&T and T-Mobile. I'm gonna do some commentary, which I am not accustomed to, but work in progress. So right now I am at the Dupont metro station, just outside of the more populated area where a lot of the clubs are going to be, which you'll see in just a moment. So right now we're going to get a baseline of what type of speeds that we're going to be seeing. And for fast.com, one thing that I think a lot of people need to understand is when you see fast jump above 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, I am more likely probably connected to millimeter wave at that point. There's no indication that it says this is in millimeter wave, but I know that it's down in that area because I've tested it, and I'm gonna go driving through there, but I'm probably gonna stop and go and momentarily get held up where you will see a lot of Uber and Lyft pickups at the same time, which I like to add. I am a full-time Uber driver, so I kind of know these areas a little bit. So if you decide to come to DC, and a popular night spot area to come to is the Connecticut Avenue and 18th Street. So you'll see the intersection and you'll see the area. And it's very popular with a lot of clubs, a lot of bars. And if I got enough time, I'm probably going to hit up another section called Adams Morgan, which is not that far from the Dupont Circle area if I got time. So we're just getting a baseline for the video right now. As you can see, I'm gonna pan and tilt. This is where we are. Right now, I'm currently at 20th Street off of Connecticut Avenue on the upper roadway. And we got 217 down and 40 up for Verizon. A fast.com hit of 4.3 megabits per second. And we're working on the video for imperv. And we're almost done. And as soon as this finish, then I will be moving through this area as I'm doing speed testing. I like to add that I had a viewer suggest that I do more commentary, something weird that I'm not accustomed to talking, even though I talk a lot with my customers. So 343 down, 51, 53 up, and video and streaming pretty good. All right, now we're moving. So if anybody has any questions or anything, feel free to put it in the comments. And if this video helps you, hit like, share with the people you know, so we can get a conversation started. But one of the things that about speed testing through a lot of the city is that the cell sites are a lot closer due to the fact of buildings. So these handoffs are going to be a little bit more frequent and moving through this populated area. But Verizon is a very solid network, just not of my own personal choosing. I think that personally, you pay a lot of money for a little slice of what they possibly can do. Now they have the larger network, but they also don't allow a lot of speed on their network. So that's probably just due to their network management more than anything. And this intersection is, DC has a lot of circles, so you're gonna notice that I'm in a circle right now, and then navigating it sucks. Alrighty. Alright, so we're coming back around. And that's finished. So anytime that y'all see this number spike above 4.1, it's probably because I'm connected to a millimeter wave. It's the only time they don't throttle the fast.com. So the fast.com is pretty much simulating whether or not you're connected to like video or doing the web. So think of kind of like Netflix and how often it pulls through the network. So it does hard pulls of data whenever you're watching Netflix. If you ever look at the progression bar when it's showing, it shows hard pulls, and it'll stop and it'll pull hard again because it's buffering. So fast.com simulates those hard pulls and see how much data you could pull through the network at one time. So that's one of the reasons why I use fast.com. It gives you a good idea of how much data Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile are going to let you get from being down here. So as you can see, starting to come around the people. And the horns are starting. So like I said, for me personally, I don't see myself switching over to Verizon due to the fact that there's too much restrictions. And since C-band won't show up here until 2023, from what I'm understanding, I'm probably gonna have to go to New York and do some testing to see what C-band looks like, on my devices, and try to get that experience out to people also. As you can see, moving through the area. Oh, they've already blocked off streets. So right now we're on Connecticut and 18th. Alrighty. So right now, there's a lot of clubs and bars literally in this spot right here. So Verizon is doing pretty good. On the imperv test, it was 50 down and about 39 up. Video and streaming is still possible in this area. On the speed test, It's 38 down and look like I'm about 27 up. So Verizon's getting hit pretty hard in this area right now. And I'm gonna do the same exact test for AT&T, and T-Mobile also. Let's get another pull. Doing video recording down here with all these police officers. Do another fast. All right. And no, don't hit me. All right, so I'm about to swing back around. So DC got a lot of one-way streets. I have to kind of go with the flow through here right now. I've identified 1 millimeter wave node through this area, and I'm probably gonna drive right near it, so you'll see the number spike as I go near it. I think it's active. I've driven past it a few times. And I think I've tested off of it also, and I didn't know it was there until I drove by and noticed it was on the pole. But, you know, when I look at the other YouTubers' videos for speed testing, they have wide open spaces for millimeter wave. You know, there's not a lot of obstructions. So here in DC, we got a lot of trees that lines our streets, and millimeter wave doesn't like trees. Alrighty, so pretty consistent through here. 51, 50. Another fast. One thing I could say is Verizon is very consistent. It's a solid consistent, so I could see why a lot of people might want to gravitate towards it, but not when you're capped at 720p. That's just my prerogative. I'm a different person. I want as much, you know, data as I can put in a jar. All right, so I'm coming up on this millimeter wave node now. Let's see if I connect to it. It doesn't look like oh, there it is. We are connected to it. 460 megabits per second, 470. And it's still climbing. And I'm looking right at it, so I think this is the new Samsung Gear. It has a different front panel on it. The speed test is not catching the millimeter wave, but the fast.com is. That's something I found weird. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing that. Of late, fast.com is not registering it. Or it could have been that I dropped into regular LTE right now. Pull another hit. So the speed test is 72 down, 26 up. And we're back on regular LTE, 4.1. Millimeter wave is still finicky, but I think it's finicky due to their deployment. It's on a pole on the side of the road, which it needs to be middle of the road for it to be viable. Like on top of a lamppost. You know, that way it gets better line of sight. You know, more in the middle of the road. The radio frequency can permeate the whole block instead of partial. All right, so we're getting ready to get detoured. So right now I'm kind of in a traffic jam. But if you come to DC, you know, Connecticut and 18th, if you like going to the clubs, there's plenty of them around here. Come on, people. But there's different other spots in the district that I'm probably going to do this for all three. To give everybody an idea about what, you end up paying for. This is the plan that I'm using right now. I think it's the Get More. It's the highest rated plan that they have on Verizon. Me personally, paying a lot of money for 720p. So 76 down, 37 up. Don't really worry about the ping test on imperv. That comes from ping. The high ping like that comes from the fact that you're testing a server that's further away. Anytime you're doing a fast.com or a speed test, a lot of these speed tests, they have servers literally close by. The imperv test is, I think some of the servers are kind of far. So you're talking about anything over 100 miles away, you're going to start getting higher pings. So distance to the server equals higher pings. So if a lot of people don't understand that, that's kind of what happens when the further away you are from a server and testing it. That's one of the reasons why a lot of network operators try to put servers closer to people. That way you can get better connection speeds. And people are crossing the street. They're doing the selfies in the middle of the intersection. Oh, look at that. The fast.com spiked at 950. So I was connected to the millimeter wave node at that point. When I did a versus video, AT&T didn't do very well down here. I'm going to end up doing the same run for AT&T. And then I'm going to do the same run for T-Mobile also. But as you can see, Verizon's pretty consistent. It's averaging about 70 megabits per second. From 30 to 70. I'm not getting total crashes. So that means they have a lot of antennas that are pointing that major intersection that I just drove through. I'm about to do a few more and then wrap up. And we're moving. And we're moving. Hit one of these adjacent streets. So now I'm at 20th Street Northwest. Going back to the Dupont Circle Metro Station to loop back around and finish the circle. All right, so that one was 92 down.
Parking mode off.
And looking like about a 41 up. So Verizon's DSS 5G doesn't really add too much to their 5G experience. It just gives them the icon. That's from my perspective. And we're almost gone full circle. The imperv test will be the last one. I am back towards the Dupont Circle roadway circle, heading back to the metro stop. Alrighty, and we're here back at the metro stop on the Dupont Circle side. Back on 20th Street. Give you a good look and idea where I am. Not much to see. And on that last pool, 227 down and 46 up. Video and streaming still solid. Fast.com of 3.5. Do one more. So 720p video. Thank y'all for watching. If you got any comments, feel free to leave them below. And looking forward to talking to people about it. Y'all have a good night.